The Door of Shadows. In the dimly lit room, the air carried an unsettling stillness, as if time had paused to listen to the whispers of dread. I once had a dream, or that's what I think it was, that unraveled like a dark tapestry woven from the threads of my deepest fears. It was the kind of night where shadows danced, and the mundane turned malevolent, transforming my sanctuary into a prison of terror. I found myself awake, at least I thought I was. The familiar contours of my room surrounded me, yet an insidious dissonance gnawed at my senses. My limbs felt weighty, as if shackled by invisible chains, rendering me a prisoner in my own body. The silence was oppressive, punctuated only by the rhythmic pounding of my heart echoing in my ears. I was drawn to the door on the far left side of the room, which had always been ajar, inviting me to the world beyond. But when I finally gathered the strength to turn my head, it was no longer the welcoming threshold I remembered, it was closed. Solid, enigmatic, and foreboding. A chill crawled down my spine, and sweat beaded on my forehead, a testament to the rising tide of fear. With a surge of desperation, I willed my legs to move, but it felt as though I were wading through an ocean of molasses, each step a monumental effort. When I reached for the doorknob, my fingers trembled, but the knob would not budge. I was locked out of freedom, or perhaps locked in with something far worse. Panic clawed at my throat as I tried to scream, but only a feeble gasp escaped my lips, barely a whisper in the oppressive darkness. Finally, in a surge of adrenaline, I managed to force the door open. What lay beyond sent a jolt of pure terror coursing through me. There stood a woman clad in white, her presence ethereal, as though she were a specter summoned from the depths of my subconscious. Her hair flowed around her like tendrils of seaweed in water, and she radiated a pale glow, both beautiful and horrific. She hovered just outside my door, her eyes locking onto mine with a gaze that felt like a vice grip on my very soul. I was paralyzed, unable to look away, caught in the magnetic pull of her otherworldly presence. Just as I thought I might break free from her hold, she reached out, her hand brushing against my arm. A searing pain erupted where she touched me, a brand of terror that burned deep into my skin. I squeezed my eyes shut, hoping to escape, to wake from this nightmare. But when I opened them again, I was back in my bed, sitting upright, pressed against the wall as if it could offer me solace. A dark bruise marred my arm, a reminder of the encounter that felt so vivid, so real. The door now stood ajar, the darkness beyond it whispering secrets I dared not unravel. I spent the rest of the night in a state of hyper-awareness, staring at that door, waiting for the dawn to break, every creak and sigh of the house echoing like a harbinger of doom. As the first light of day timidly seeped through the window, I realized that some doors should never be opened, for what lies beyond may forever change you. The woman in white was not just a figment of a dream, she was a harbinger of shadows, a reminder that some nightmares linger long after the night has passed. And as I looked at the door now bathed in the sun's light, I couldn't shake the feeling that it would always be watching,
waiting for me to succumb to the darkness again.